Tired of the pressure to keep up while your financial freedom feels distant? There's a group called the quietly wealthy who ignore the noise and build astonishing wealth in silence. Their method isn't magic. It's 7 simple, powerful habits practiced daily, from investing before spending to setting clear goals. This video reveals their exact strategy. It's about choosing internal control over external validation. If you're ready to stop chasing and start building real, lasting wealth, you're in the right place. Habit 1. Spend less than you earn. Have you ever felt that pre-payday anxiety, wondering where all your hard-earned money went? You're stuck on a financial treadmill, and you're not alone. But there's a group that has mastered the escape, the quietly wealthy. Their foundational secret is deceptively simple. They spend less than they earn. This isn't about being cheap, it's the bedrock of freedom. Living paycheck to paycheck is a prison, no matter your income. It's the constant stress of unexpected bills, the feeling that you work for your debts, not your dreams. Now, imagine the opposite. Imagine ending each month with a surplus. That surplus isn't just cash. It's power. It's options. It's the freedom to design your own life. So how do they do it? They live a life of intention, not deprivation. They've stopped trying to look rich and focused on being rich in what matters, security and peace of mind. Before every purchase, they ask a critical question. Is this an investment in my future or just a payment for a fleeting impulse? They choose a reliable used car over a new one that loses value instantly, investing the difference. They've swapped forgotten subscriptions for assets that grow and compound while they sleep. Ready to start? The first step is simple. Track your spending for 30 days. No judgment, just awareness. Find the leaks. That small daily habit you can cut isn't a sacrifice. It's a strategic choice to fund your freedom. True wealth isn't about a dollar amount. It's about waking up without financial anxiety. And that journey starts with this one powerful decision.
Habit 2. Invest first, spend later. In a world dominated by buy now, pay later, have you ever wondered how the truly wealthy build lasting financial security? Their strategy is the complete opposite, and it's a habit you can start today. It's called invest first, spend later. Most people get paid, cover their bills, spend on wants, and then hope there's something left to save. It's a recipe for living paycheck to paycheck. The wealthy flip the script entirely. The moment their income hits their account, a predetermined portion is automatically transferred into investments. This isn't an afterthought, it's their most important bill. So where does this money go? Straight into long-term, wealth-building assets like ETFs, index funds, or their 401k. The magic is in the automation. There are no spreadsheets, no forgotten passwords, no daily market checking. Their wealth grows silently in the background while they sleep, work, or enjoy their lives. Think about this. While many stress over saving a few dollars on a taxi ride, this single habit generates passive returns that could cover those rides entirely. It shifts your focus from penny pinching to building a machine that prints money for you. This isn't just about financial returns. It's about gaining absolute control and peace of mind. When your wealth is building on autopilot, life's uncertainties become far less frightening. And here's the most powerful part. You don't need to be an expert or have a fortune to begin. Time is your greatest ally, and delay is your biggest enemy. Start with just 5% or 10% of your next paycheck. Commit to this one change. This simple, disciplined habit is the key to unlocking real financial freedom. The question is, what are you waiting for? Your journey from just getting by to building a secure future can start with that one small automated transfer.
Habit 3. Keep an emergency fund for life's plot twists. Life, no matter how carefully you plan it, has a way of taking unexpected turns. One sunny morning, your car suddenly won't start. The next day, your child spikes a fever and needs urgent care. The following week, your company announces layoffs and you land right at the top of the list. These things never come with a warning. But the quietly wealthy? They've been ready for them all along. They always keep an emergency fund, money set aside specifically for when life decides to throw a little drama. This fund isn't for investing, nor for everyday expenses. It exists for one purpose only: to shield them from the financial shocks that eventually hit everyone. The benefits of this habit are clear. When accidents, illness, or job loss strike, they don't scramble for high-interest credit cards, rush to take out a payday loan, or call up close friends in desperation. And they certainly don't pawn off their wedding ring just to pay the bills. Instead, they remain calm, handle the situation deliberately, and avoid spiraling into debt over a single crisis.
The quietly wealthy don't believe life will always go smoothly. What they believe in is being prepared for when it doesn't. Their emergency funds typically cover 3 to 6 months of living expenses, a cushion that keeps them upright when life hits hard. And that cushion makes all the difference. While others fall into panic mode after a sudden income loss, they still have breathing room, time to reflect, reassess, and make smart decisions. They don't have to accept the first job that comes along just to keep the lights on. They can wait for the right move. Life, at times, feels like a comedy with a director who loves to throw in horror elements. You can't predict the next plot twist, but you can be ready for it. An emergency fund is more than just extra cash. It's a psychological safety net. It helps you sleep better, breathe easier, and when trouble arrives, you stay in control. And the beauty of it is this: you don't need to start big. Just set aside 5 to 10% of your income each month in a separate, untouchable account. Stay consistent. After a few months, you'll be amazed at the peace of mind that a small stash brings. Because the worst can happen at any time, but the smart ones are ready before it does.
Habit 4. Lifelong learning, even without a test. While many people see learning as something that ends after school, the quietly wealthy think differently. Learning is a lifelong habit, even when there's no exam to pass. And what they study the most isn't ancient Greek philosophy or trigonometric equations, it's personal finance. You won't find them arguing about the stock market in internet comment sections, but behind the scenes, they're reading finance books, listening to investment podcasts, and watching videos like the one you're watching now. Not for grades, not to check a box, but simply because they understand this truth. Financial knowledge helps them make better decisions with their own money every single day. Thanks to this habit of constant learning, they know where to invest, what to avoid, and how not to fall for financial traps like 400% returns in 7 days or AI will make you rich overnight. They aren't drawn to flashy promises because they understand the real power of steady, disciplined, sustainable investing. The greatest benefit of this habit isn't just technical knowledge, it's confidence in their financial choices. When faced with 2 investment options, they can assess the risks themselves. When someone pressures them with a now or never deal, they know how to ask the right questions. And when they do seek advice, it's not from that one friend who studied accounting but now runs a coffee shop. While others unwind with reality TV, they genuinely enjoy updating their spreadsheets, tracking their portfolios, and reading financial reports like they were mystery novels. Strangely enough, it excites them, because to them, each number represents one more step toward the financial freedom they're working for. Lifelong learning doesn't require a degree, a classroom, or hours with a textbook. Sometimes it's as simple as listening to a podcast on the way to work, reading a chapter before bed, or checking a financial channel each morning. These small habits, accumulated over time, create a powerful advantage, one that no one can take away from you. The quietly wealthy aren't necessarily smarter than everyone else. They just never stop learning, even when no one's asking them to. And in a financial world that grows more complex by the day, knowledge is the most reliable, rewarding asset you can invest in. It doesn't require a password, it's not taxed, and the more you use it, the more valuable it becomes.
Habit 5. Say no to consumer debt. In today's world, where shopping only takes a few taps, it's become completely normal to own everything from cars to high-end coffee machines through buy now, pay later schemes. But the quietly wealthy, they choose a different path. They say no to consumer debt. That is, they avoid borrowing money for things that begin to lose value the moment they're bought. It sounds simple, but this habit is one of the most powerful financial shields they have. They understand that not all debt is bad, but debt used to buy things that don't generate income or appreciate over time is a sweet but dangerous trap. They don't borrow to upgrade TVs, switch to the latest phone model, or drive a newer car just because the old one feels outdated. They refuse to work an entire month just to make installment payments on a 70-inch television that in the end is only used to watch the nightly news. Instead of falling into the endless loop of borrow, buy, repay, repeat, they choose financial autonomy. They ask themselves one critical question before any major purchase. Will this help me earn money, or will it increase in value over time? If the answer's no, they think twice. And most of the time, that means they don't buy it.
This discipline keeps their cash flow flexible, their monthly expenses light, and, most importantly, their stress levels low when bills are due. They don't live to pay off debt. They live to invest, grow, and stay in control. Even more importantly, avoiding consumer debt doesn't just preserve their money, it preserves their freedom. They're not chained to past spending. They can walk away from a job, pivot in their career, or seize a good investment opportunity because their cash isn't tied up in depreciating purchases sitting around at home. The quietly wealthy understand that not everything that looks good is worth owning, and not every limited-time discount is a real opportunity. They don't need a brand new car to feel successful. They don't need luxurious furniture to prove their status. For them, real wealth is the ability to control their finances, not the ability to spend on command. And no, this doesn't mean you need to give up every comfort or live like a monk. It simply means learning to distinguish between assets and liabilities and choosing to spend on what moves you forward instead of what drags you down with monthly payments. Because in the end, financial freedom doesn't come from owning more. It comes from no longer having to work just to pay off things you never truly needed in the first place.
Habit 6. Know exactly where every dollar goes. While many people find themselves scratching their heads at the end of each month wondering, wait, where did all my money go? The quietly wealthy already have the answer. Clear, line by line, like they're reading a bank statement, out loud. Why? Because they practice one deceptively simple but incredibly powerful habit. They know exactly where every dollar goes. They track their spending with the precision of an FBI investigation, not because they're obsessed with recording every penny, but because they understand a core truth. You can't control what you don't measure. And when it comes to money, measuring means tracking, consistently, thoroughly, and without skipping the details. The benefit? Crystal clear. They can spot financial leaks instantly, like that $9.99 monthly fee for a fitness app deleted 3 months ago, or automatic subscriptions for services nobody's used in ages. These seemingly tiny charges, if left unchecked, can quietly drain a sizable chunk of your monthly budget. Thanks to this habit, they stay in command of their finances. Money doesn't just disappear. Every expense, from a morning coffee to the electric bill, is monitored and categorized with intent. Not to pinch pennies, but to ensure every dollar is doing its job. While others vaguely guess, I think I spend too much eating out, or my credit card's probably charging more than I thought, the quietly wealthy know exactly where the money went, what time it left, who it was paid to, and, most importantly, whether it's likely to come back, like in investments or personal development. This habit also sharpens their ability to make smarter financial decisions. When they know how much is being spent in each category, it's easier to make adjustments, cut unnecessary costs, boost savings, or redirect funds toward long-term goals. And here's the best part. You don't need fancy Excel sheets or complex accounting software to do it. A simple budgeting app or even weekly notes in your phone can help you start regaining control. Because money, when left untracked, tends to quietly drift away. And by the time you notice, it may already be hiding in delivery app fees, music streaming charges, or a flash sale impulse buy you barely remember. The quietly wealthy don't let that happen. They manage their money the way a good CEO manages a high-performing team. They know who's doing what, where, and whether it's producing results. So if someone ever asks them, "Where did your money go?" they won't just answer the question. They might even pull out a pie chart to go with it.
Habit 7. Set clear financial goals, no wishful thinking. While many people drift through life with vague thoughts like, I want to be rich, or I hope I can live comfortably, or hopefully I'll have enough when I retire, the quietly wealthy take a very different approach. They don't dream, they set crystal clear financial goals, down to the last dollar. Not wishful thinking, but real plans. Retire at 55, pay off their home in 10 years, send their kids to college without taking on debt. That kind of clarity is powerful. When you know exactly what you're aiming for, planning becomes easier. And with a plan, sticking to it is far more likely, especially when distractions come along, like a 70% off sale on shoes you didn't need in the first place. The quietly wealthy don't let their finances just go with the flow. They designed a personal financial roadmap, complete with timelines, strategic investments, and a step-by-step route. They don't wait for life to calm down before thinking about money. They make money work for their goals starting today. Instead of saying, I want more money, they say, I need $1.2 million over the next 20 years to retire early. Here's how I'll get there. Save 25% of my income each month, invest in low-cost index funds, and reinvest all earnings consistently. There's nothing vague about it, only data, action, and deadlines. The benefit of this habit isn't just about having a plan, It's about eliminating that constant sense of uncertainty, the fear of being unprepared. When you know what you need, how much, and by when, you stop spending aimlessly. Every financial decision, whether it's dining out or buying property, is made with the long-term picture in mind. Clear financial goals also allow them to track progress easily. They know whether this month moved them forward or off course. They don't wait until December to reflect. One chart or a simple spreadsheet is enough to remind them, here's where I am, here's where I need to go, here's what needs adjusting. The quietly wealthy aren't financial geniuses. They simply know what they want and stay committed to getting there. For them, money is not the end goal. It's a tool that helps turn clear intentions into reality. And you can start the same way. Your goal doesn't have to be massive. Maybe it's, I want to pay off my debt in 3 years, or I want to have $50,000 in my retirement fund within 10 years. Break that down into monthly steps. Create a plan that works in your real life. Stick to it. No daydreaming, no delays. Because in the end, the people who reach financial freedom aren't always the ones with the biggest dreams. They're the ones with the clearest steps. The quietly wealthy aren't smarter or luckier. They just consistently do the simple, unglamorous things that others skip. You don't need a spotlight. You just need discipline. And the best part? You can start your wealth journey right now with one small, consistent habit. How about closing that shopping tab first? If this mindset resonates with you, subscribe for more. We don't promise magic, just the aha moments that show you exactly how it's done.